Hey, welcome everyone. Rick here from Port Zero Cyber Solutions. And today I'm going to guide you through the essentials of creating an acceptable use policy, or otherwise known as an AUP, for your company. At Port Zero, we specialize in cyber awareness and incident response planning and training. And today we'll share expert insights on developing an effective AUP. This policy sets the ground rules for how employees, contractors, and partners should access your company's resources, helping protect sensitive data, maintaining productivity, and safeguarding your organization's reputation. So to get started with section 1, or task number 1 here, let's start by discussing what an acceptable use policy and why it's essential. An AUP defines acceptable and unacceptable behavior when using company resources such as computers, networks, and data storage. So here at Port Zero, we emphasize that setting these standards, companies can, 1, protect sensitive information. Defining acceptable usage minimizes risks of data breaches. 2, mitigating legal liability. Guidelines for internet and device use can help prevent harassment, discrimination, and other inappropriate conduct. 3, safeguard company reputation. Ethical use of company resources, it protects your brand. 4, enhance productivity. Clear rules help discourage misuse of resources and enable employees to stay focused and on their tasks. So in short, an AUP helps establish clear expectations which are essential for a secure and professional workplace environment. So task number 2. So steps to creating an AUP. Now that we understand the importance of an acceptable use policy, we'll walk you through the steps involving in creating one. So here's the process. We're going to assess company needs and risks. Start by evaluating how employees interact with digital assets like email systems, networks, and mobile devices. We can help identify any unique security risks that could threaten your organization. Define scope and applicability. Outline which systems, applications, and data are covered by the AUP. Specify if the policy applies only to employees, or does it extend to contractors, third-party vendors, and clients as well. Outline acceptable use and unacceptable uses. Define acceptable behaviors like accessing only authorized systems and keeping passwords secure. And list prohibited actions such as accessing inappropriate websites or sharing sensitive information outside the company. Include privacy expectations. We recommend transparency in activity monitoring. This builds trust and supports compliance with data privacy laws. Detailed consequences of non-compliance. Clearly outline repercussions for policy violations, from warnings to termination, depending on the severity. Incorporate policy updates and acknowledgement. Port Zero, we advise establishing a regular review process to adapt your AUP to evolving threats and technological changes. Also, require employees to acknowledge they've read and understood the policy. By following these steps, you can create an AUP that's thorough, adaptable, and supportive of a secure workplace. So task 3. So reasonable enforcement language and best practices. Once your acceptable use policy is drafted, the next step is to ensure it's enforceable with clear, fair language. So here are some best practices. Use simple, direct language. Avoid legal jargon or technical terms that may confuse employees. We advise using terms like intentionally accessing inappropriate conduct or content rather than vague phrases like inappropriate use. Set proportionate consequences. Penalties should align with the severity of the violation. Minor infractions might lead to warnings, while serious breaches like data theft may result in termination or even prosecution. Make compliance training mandatory. Regular training sessions reinforce understanding and adherence. Port Zero can help to deliver effective AUP training tailored to your organization's unique requirements. Enable continuous policy acknowledgement. Require employees to acknowledge the policy regularly, such as during the onboarding process and annually as well, to reinforce its relevance. When language is clear and consequences are fair, employees are more likely to comply, which is a core principle for us at PortZero Cyber Solutions. So together we can create a secure and productive work environment. So finally, some key takeaways. So we're here, PortZero is here to help support you in building an acceptable use policy that safeguards your resources and data. So let's recap the essential steps. Assess risks and company needs, define clear usage boundaries, communicate privacy expectations, detail fair, enforceable consequences, and regularly update the policy and ensure employee acknowledgement. So thanks for joining us here at PortZero in this guide to creating an acceptable use policy. By adopting a proactive approach, you can foster a workplace culture that values security, trust, and responsibility. So reach out to us for any questions or guidance. And remember, until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.